For the last example, we're going to move on to the coordinate grid. So we're going to determine whether the quadrilateral ABCD with these vertices, -2, 6, 2, 7, 1, 3, and -3, 2, is a rhombus, a rectangle, a parallelogram, or none. List all that apply and then explain. So first thing we do is we plot the points and then we connect the vertices on the coordinate plane. And we look at it and we say, yeah, that kind of looks like a parallelogram to me. ABCD is a parallelogram, but is it also a rhombus? So to check the figure, to see what it can be classified as, we're going to compare the slopes of the diagonals to determine whether they're perpendicular. The slope of AC, which goes from 3, 1 to 6, -2, is -1. The slope of BD, going from 2, -3 to 7, 2, is 1. Because the product of the slopes of the diagonals is -1, the diagonals are perpendicular, so we know we have a rhombus. So we looked at this line here. And this line here, and we compared the slopes to see if they were going to be perpendicular, if they're going to create a 90-degree angle in the center there. Because they are opposite reciprocals, or because the product of the slopes is -1, we know that they are in fact perpendicular to each other. They will create that 90-degree angle. So we do in fact have a rhombus. What other way could you determine whether the quadrilateral is a rhombus? So think about the properties of a rhombus and decide how else we could prove this is a rhombus besides using the diagonals. Write that down in your notes and have it ready to go for later. And your study tip for this video: when analyzing a figure using coordinate geometry, graph the figure to help formulate a conjecture, right? That's your guess. And also to help check the reasonableness of your answer, right? If you get done and you say that it's a square, but it looks all slopey and weird, like the rhombus up top did, you might want to check your math on that. Use the same scale on the X and Y axes so the representation is as accurate as possible. Be sure to choose a window that will allow you to see all the vertices. That's especially important if you're using a graphing calculator and not graphing by hand.